Welcome everyone to Crafting with Julia. If you're new to my channel, my name is Julia and I'm so glad you tuned in today. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to make hydrangeas from coffee filters and a repurposed paint can to display them in. Hopefully it will give you some inspiration and ideas, so let's get started. My inspiration for this project came from this picture that I saw on Pinterest. I just loved it and I wanted to recreate it. Project number one is the coffee filter hydrangeas. So to get started with this project, what you need to do first is preheat your oven to about 300 degrees Fahrenheit. And of course, everyone's oven is different. Mine tends to run a little hot. So mine is at 300 degrees Fahrenheit. Now to start, you're going to need 8 coffee filters per flower. So I've got my 8 coffee filters here. And you're going to need some plastic bowls and some food coloring. This is just regular food coloring that you would use to dye Easter eggs. You're going to fill a bowl of water, enough to cover each coffee filter. Now to make the coloring, I added a few drops of the green, and then take the yellow and add the same drops for the yellow. And then you're going to add just a bit of the red, a tiny bit. And then you're going to mix it up. I put a little bit more green in there. You're going to mix it up, and it's going to come to a nice light green, and this is going to be the base of the flower. All the flowers will start with this base. So you're going to take the filters and you're going to soak the filters in the bowl. I've already prepared a cookie sheet with parchment paper because we're going to, like I said, we're going to put them in the oven. So each coffee filter goes into the water, and then squeeze out the excess water, unravel it, and lay them on the cookie sheet. Now this one came out a little light, so I think I want to add a little bit more green to it. I wanted to make it a little darker green. Yeah, that's perfect. And of course, if I added the green, I have to add more yellow. And let's see how that comes out. Yeah, a little bit more of the red, and I think that will do it. Yeah, I like it. So this is going to be more of an olive green, which is the color that I really wanted to shoot for. See the difference in the color? And if you don't like the color, just play around with it. And you can take a couple of filters at a time. The only problem with that is that I noticed that the dye doesn't go through all the way to all the layers. So I kind of did some in a single filter, and then some I just bunched them up. And you'll see when I take them out of the oven, they'll all be different colors, which is okay, because you're going to use another color dye to make the actual flower. So I just put those two in together and then pull them apart, squeeze the water out. Okay, now they're ready to go in the oven. So now they're out of the oven, and as you can see, like I said, they're all going to be different colors, which is okay, because you're going to end up painting the petals the color that you want. So what you need to do now is you're going to take two sheets, fold it in half, like that. Then you're going to fold it in half again, just like that. And you're going to cut from the outer edge to the center. Just make a little cut like that, and then fold it again, and you're going to do the same thing. From the outer edge, you're going to cut it just a little bit so that you're able to fold it again. Now, at this point, we want to draw our petals. So you're going to take a pencil, and you're just going to draw some petals on the filter, like that. Second one, like that. And the fourth petal, and then you want to make a very wide stem. Okay. Then you're going to grab your scissors and you're going to cut out the flower. Cut the petals. And they don't have to be perfect, because you'll see after it's all done, it's going to look beautiful. Okay, and that's the stem. Okay. Now when you open it up, you're going to have your flower. Isn't that cool? Kind of reminds me when I was a kid, when we used to make snowflakes out of tissue paper. Okay, so now you're going to take another two. So you have 8 coffee filters, and you're going to do this with 2 coffee filters each. So it should be 4 times. You're going to repeat the process 4 times, and this is for 1 flower. Fold it again, cut, fold it again, and then you're going to draw your petal. Grab your scissors, cut it out. These flowers come out so beautiful, and really you save so much money. If you ever been to the store to price the hydrangeas, they're so expensive. And it's fun. It's just a fun thing to do, and you can say that you made them. Now, when I put them in the oven, I lay them on a parchment paper. I don't like to put it right on my cookie trays. So I lay the parchment paper out, and I think it just kind of works better. I think it heats up much better. Open it up. And there you have your second one. Okay, we're going to do this 2 more times. As you can see, each filter is a different color, and that's okay. Fold it, cut it. I'm going to fold it again, cut it again. Now we're going to draw. So I start from the center. I make a little dot in the center where I want my center petal to be, the center of my flower to be, and then I draw the petals out from that center point. And just remember to make a wide stem, very important. Just like that. And the nice thing about this is that you can make them any color you want. I'm going to make blue ones because I happen to like that. That's the color that I'm looking for. But you can really make any color. And you know, with the dye, if you add drops of different colors, get a color wheel and see what colors you can make. Of course, they have food coloring in pastels, they have purples, really any color that you like. Or you could do a bouquet of different colors. Or you could just leave it natural, like it is. That's pretty too. Okay, we're on to our last 2. Here's our last 2. As you can see, they're a little darker than the rest of them. And sometimes if you leave them in the oven too long, they burn a little bit, which is also okay. And I think it just adds to the beauty of the flower. So yeah, if they burn, don't worry about it. You'll see it'll come out just fine. Okay, we're going to draw our last flower. Start with the center and draw my petals out. And draw a wide stem. And then cut it out. That's how it should look. This makes such a pretty centerpiece also for a table. So beautiful. Open it up. So last one. Okay, now for the fun part. Now we're going to add our color. So I like to put gloves on. Just in case you get the food coloring on your hands. It's very hard to get it off. Okay, so you're going to take, you need a paintbrush and a little bowl. Fill it with water, and I chose the blue dye. So put a couple of drops of the blue dye in there. And I added a little bit of green because I wanted to make it like a teal color. Yeah, a little bit more. Yeah, that's pretty. Yeah, that's the color I want. So what you're going to do is you're going to dip your paintbrush in the mixture and just dab it onto the petals. And if you want it to be darker, just squirt a little bit out. You're going to dab the brush into the darker and then dab it back into the water because it'll be very dark. And you'll see there is no right or wrong way to do this. It's just a matter of preference, how dark or light you want it, how dramatic you want it, and each one could be different. You just want to make sure you get all of the petal. And you want to do the back. And you're going to do this for all four. You're going to lay it onto the parchment, and then you're going to put it onto the cookie sheet. And again, this is going to go back into the oven at 300 degrees Fahrenheit, and you're going to put it in for maybe 15 minutes, but keep an eye on it because you don't want it to burn. Like I said, everyone's oven is different, but I put mine in for about 15 minutes. So now we're ready to assemble our flowers. You're going to take each, well, these are two. Each one of these is two. So you're going to take them all, you're going to spread it apart and lay them flat. Then you take your next one, open it up, and you're going to place it on top of the first two. And you want to make sure you offset the petals a little bit because you don't want them all stacked in a row. You want them offset a little bit. Then you're going to open up your third one. Stack that on. And then the last one. And you're going to stack that on, offsetting each one. Okay, now you're going to take the whole bunch and you're going to fold it in half, like that. And now you want to just roll it. And the more loosely that you roll it, the bigger the flower. You're going to take a wire stem. I use a heavy gauge wire and glue it to the center. And you're just going to roll it in on itself. And then add a little dab of glue to close it. And then just fluff it out. Like that. Just keep fluffing it, keep turning it, fluff it all out. Like that. Try to separate the petals that stuck together. Okay, like that. And now we're ready to add the floral tape to the stem. So I just put a little dab of glue just to hold the floral tape in place. And then all you're going to do is just twist it around the wire. And just keep twisting. And it's sticky, so it will stick to itself. And just keep turning. Twirl the wire in your hands and keep guiding the floral tape till you get to the end. Now I used a long piece of wire because I wasn't sure how much I'm going to need when I put it in my my vase. So I just made them long. I can always cut them when I measure it. Okay, and that's what it should look like. Now, if you want a leaf, I'm not going to add leaves, but if you do want a leaf, I cut these out with my Cricut. If you want to use a coffee filter, you can do that too. Just dip them in, trace them out, dip them in green dye. But the way I get the vein on the leaf is to fold it in half, and then you're just going to accordion pleat it, starting from the base. Just accordion back and forth, like that. And open it up, and there's your veins for the leaves. Okay? And then you could just put it onto the stem. I'm not going to use leaves, so I'm just going to end it there. So for the next project, I'm going to show you how I recycled a paint can. We just recently painted our garage, so I had so many paint cans, and I don't throw anything out. So I took this paint can, I took the label off, I washed it out, I cleaned it up real nice, and that's what I ended up with. And now I'm going to use this product that I love. It's called Slick Stick, and it's by Dixie Belle. And what it is it's a water-based solution or paint, and it's specifically made to bond to most sticky and shiny surfaces. So you just have to clean the surface and make sure it's free from all oils, dust, and so forth, and just put a coat of this on, and it actually makes the paint bond to the surface. So with a regular chip brush, we're just going to put one layer of this on. And I will have a link to where I purchased this. I purchased it on Amazon, and I'll put the link down in the description box below. And I hope you're enjoying this video. If you already subscribed to my channel, I want to thank you. If you haven't already, I hope you do. And I hope you continue coming back. Remember to ring the bell so you're notified of all new videos that come out. Also, you can follow me on Instagram, Facebook. Those links are in the description box as well. In addition to my new Facebook group where we all share our creativeness, and you can post your creativeness, and you can post if you redo a craft with me. I'd love to see your version of it, so that's where you can post it, and that link is also below. So come join us there. This product is also great for when I upcycle all my ceramics. Right now I'm redoing all the roosters in my house, all the colorful roosters, because they're out of style. Now monotone roosters are in. So that's what I use this for. It's a great product. And that's it. So now we're going to wait for that to dry. So now that we have our dry coat of Dixie Belle, I'm going to now paint it with chalk paint. And I am using Rust-Oleum's Chalked. It's an ultra matte paint, and it's in chiffon cream. I love this color. It's an easy application. It's a one coat coverage, and you can apply it to a variety of surfaces, and it dries to a chalky, smooth finish. It's such a beautiful color. So I'm going to mix it up real good. And I will have this link below also. I purchased this also from Amazon, and the link will be below. So you're just going to take your chip brush again and just give it a coat. And you don't have to go heavy. Nice light coat. And it dries really quick. So now I'm finished painting, and now I'm going to set it down, and we're going to wait for it to dry. So now our paint can is dry, and we are ready to dress it up. See how nice that color came out? I love it. So I went on the internet, and I got this image that I thought would look great on the can. So I printed it out with my inkjet printer, and I sized it. Actually, before I printed it out, I sized it, and it fits perfectly on the can. So how I'm going to cut it out, I don't want a straight cut, so I dip my paintbrush in water, and just go around the design and saturate the paper like that. And then I'm just going to tear the edges so it looks like a rough old picture. And don't pull it. You want to really saturate the paper so that it just tears easily. See how easy that comes off? And then I saved some coffee grounds from this morning's coffee because I want to antique the edges. You could do it with ink, which I was originally going to do, but I thought that I would do it with the coffee grounds. So now this fits nicely on the front of the can. I think that looks great. Perfect. And we're ready to rough up the edges. So I'm going to put some gloves on because I don't want coffee grounds under my fingernails. So you just take the grounds, crunch them up in between your fingers, and just go along the edges of the wet paper and it will stick. And you'll see you get a nice antique look. And just keep going around. And some of the paper will pull off, that's fine. It just adds to the oldness of it. Keep going around until you get the desired look that you want. So now I'm done antiquing it and it fits on the can perfectly. Now we're ready to decoupage. So I buy my decoupage by the gallon. So what I do is I put a little bit into a glass jar and that's how I use my decoupage. So it's in this little glass jar and it's a little tough to open. If you bang it on the surface, it opens up. It's really stuck on there. Okay, there we go. Okay. All right, we're ready to decoupage. So you're just going to start from the center and work your way out to the ends. And you only need a little bit. You want a very thin layer of decoupage, but make sure you get the ends because you really want it to be sealed to the can. So you start from the center and you work your way out to the edges. Okay, now we're ready to place it on the can. Find the center. And then just smooth it out. Make sure you go all the way to the edge. See? That looks great. Perfect. It's exactly what I was looking for. The exact look I was looking for. Doesn't that look great? Okay. And now we're ready to put the styrofoam in the can so that we can put the flowers in. So I'm just going to glue this piece to the bottom of the can with hot glue. Then I'm going to take my hydrangeas that we just made. And before I cut the wire, I'm going to put them in the can to make sure of the length that I need to cut. So I'm going to cut a little bit, and let's see if this fits. Yeah, I could already tell it's too long. I want it to be almost flush with the top of the can, so that's a little too long. So I'm going to cut it again. And yeah, that's perfect. That's perfect. So I'm going to use this one to measure the rest of the stems. I'm going to cut them all. And just arrange them. I want the darker one to be in the center, like that. And just stick them in the styrofoam in the center of the can. And fluff them out and arrange it. And there you have it. Beautiful handmade centerpiece. Isn't that pretty? Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I appreciate all my subscribers, and I hope you're gonna join me again for the next video. Have a great day.